What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We've got Art on Black White Tokens against Jacob on what is he on? 4-color creativity. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. We've got 21 players tonight, so a little bit less than normal, but a lot of our regulars are at the RC this weekend, which I've been told is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So that's where a lot of those folks are. But that being said, we've still got a strong turnout. We've probably got like 30 or so Commander players battling it out here, playing some casual games. Thank you all so much, though. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure to follow. And if you dig the content enough, consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel. You get access to some emotes, ad-free viewing, and of course, you can watch the VOD as soon as the video is over. Our live stream is over. If you're watching on YouTube, though, head on over to Twitch, follow us, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let people know that we exist. So we got Art on Black White Tokens, as I said. Jacob on 4-color creativity. Let's get things started. It looks like Jacob is trying to decide whether he wants to mulligan again or not. It is round 2. We have 4 rounds, of course. So this is going to be a pretty good one, I think. Art is new to the shop, coming back to Modern. When he first showed up at the shop, he was playing Commander and kind of getting back into the swing of just playing Magic in general. But I kind of told him, Modern's our best. If you want to play competitively, Modern is definitely our most prominent format. And within a couple weeks, he bought a deck, and here he is. So told him I'd give him a feature match. Despite being a Cubs fan. And Art, if you watch this, of course, I'm just joking, bud. But go Cardinals at the same time. And here we go. We've got Woody Footy on Jacob's side of the battlefield. Art going to play the Witchstalker land. And it looks like we might have an Emperor of Bones. Is that what that is? Emperor of Bones. All right, there we go. There's the Emperor of Bones for you fine folks. At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target card from your graveyard. You can pay 2 to adapt to, and then whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put onto Emperor of Bones, put a creature card exiled with Emperor of Bones onto the battlefield under your control with a finality counter on it. It gains haste, sacrifice it at the beginning of the instep, and it is a 2/2. So, all right. Obviously, Jacob has fetched here. Let's get that off there. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. We've got 30 people watching, so shout out to everyone watching on Twitch. We appreciate the heck out of you spending your Friday night. You could be doing anything in the world, and I know your time is precious to you, and you're watching some Modern action here at Impact, and that is awesome. Thanks to Z Games TV on that follow precisely 23 minutes ago. So that was awesome. Thank you for that. Moving to combat. And battle for 2. Down to 15. Hopefully Jacob updates his life total. Come on, Jacob. And Art going to pass right back to Jacob. Yeah, down to 14 off the Bitter Blossom trigger. He will make a fairy token. Literally, he's going to make a fairy token. He's going to write all the stats right here, right now. Something, okay, this is a comment I missed while we were on break. You guys, I guess, were watching the backup match from last week. Something viscerally satisfying about, for all of Magic's intricacies, intricate ins and outs, watching a big dragon smash face. I agree, Conflagrant. All right, here is a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So we will start the Fable by getting a Shaman Goblin 2/2. When it attacks, you get a treasure.
Yeah. And when I attack, I get it.
Yep. So Jacob just bought those tokens like a couple days ago from us. Into turn, we are going to flash in good old Orcish Bowmasters. Pop the fairy token. He gets an orc army too. I'm curious if he'll remember. And tick tick goes the vial. Found a recruiter of the guard. Has an ephemerate, flicker wisp, overlord, and I believe that's a solitude in the middle of his hand. All right. Attack for 2. Are we going to see a block? Jacob's going to ponder it. I'm not sure what's in Jacob's hand. I see a Sacred Foundry, I think, in his hand. He will not block, though. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to adapt. Get a couple counters. So just a chump block there for Jacob. I think Art's okay with that, if I had to guess. But yes, round 2 of 4, folks. So if you're watching live, don't go anywhere after this match is over. We got 2 more rounds after it. Fable's going to tick up, and we are going to tell another story. This time we're going to discard some cards, potentially. And then draw some cards, potentially. All right, so yep, discard 2 cards, drew 2 cards. Jacob would love to be able to creativity at some point soon. Not sure if he has in hand yet, but he's going to shock down. He should be at 9, I believe.
I don't know if it triggers twice or just once. I think it would get very hard.
All right, gonna shoot the fairy. All right. Not sure on the live total, folks. They say 1711. I'm going to trust. Prismatic ending on the Ether Vial. So can Art Flicker Wisp this in and just have kind of a big blowout here? Does Flicker Wisp allow that?
Is that what you're gonna flip? What's it? That's what you're flipping? Yeah.
Yeah, so Flicker Wisp is going to come in. Jacob actually guessed his own fate there. Jacob said, let me guess a Flicker Wisp. Pyroclasm, though, going to do some good work. And going to take down Art's entire board, other than the Emperor of Bones, which is a 4/4 currently. But Art does get to keep... Well, it'll reset, I suppose, but it does get to keep the Aether Vial in hand. Draws another one. That's a little awkward. After Flicker Wisping to save the other one. Could have just played that one, but obviously he didn't know it was on top of the deck, but...
Should be. No.
Token definitely doesn't go in the graveyard. Yeah, that's right.
Probably.
Gonna tag the Pyroclasm. And down to 4, it looks like. Okay, so must have corrected life totals at some point. Overlord's just kind of chilling at this point. Kind of impending the Overlord, though. Exile some cards. Beautiful John Avon Plains. All right, and then the impending counter will come off of the Overlord, as Orcish Bowmasters was a card that Art returned to hand. Jacob needs to figure something out right now, though. As he is at 3, this Bitter Blossom could potentially end up killing him. Jacob thinking. Got his thinking face on. Gonna play Wooded Foothills. So he's got... I think he's got Persist.
Fable.
And Fable. Yep, gonna play the Fable. So putting up a wall of blockers here. Art has been mana deprived almost this whole game. There's another Emperor of Bones.
Yep. Take out the
Gonna take the Prismatic there off the attack trigger. So he is attacking with Emperor of Bone, or I guess it's when I re-enter combat. He doesn't actually have to attack with it. Yeah, at the beginning of your combat. That's really good. That's really good. He is going to attack with it, though. The fairy going to block. All right, here we go. We're going to end the turn and mill.
I know, but why are you milling? Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. That is yeah, that is my bad. I was confusing him with Overlord.
Yeah, okay, Overlord. Jacob's fine with it. You know, it's FNM, y'all. It's FNM. Ping you. Down to 2 goes Jacob. Between his Bowmaster, you can ephemerate it too, so... With this on the stack, he's going to ephemerate. And that is going to be all she wrote for game number 1. Art going to take the W. So there we have game number 1.
Yeah, sorry about that trick. Oh, that's like, I even thought it too. I was like, something, did I forget something? Huh?
All right, so let's kick it back to the booth.
No idea what.
All righty, here we are, folks. Thank you all so much for joining us. Like I said, we are live from Impact Gaming Center in the fabulous Fairview Heights, Illinois. We're located at 49 Ludwig Drive, about 15 minutes from downtown St. Louis. So if you're in the area, come on out. If you can't make it out, though, hit up impactgamingcenter.gg for all of your Magic the Gathering and other tabletop gaming needs. We've got a huge inventory of singles and sealed product for both Magic and, honestly, name a card game, we probably have it if it's still being made and is popular, relatively speaking. But yeah, we got these two right now, Art and Jacob. Obviously, Art picking up game 1. Unfortunately for Jacob, he just wasn't able to get the ball rolling that game. So yeah, that was, to be honest, I really love Lord of the Ring Cyclers over the MH3 MDFC Orzhov. Belmark turns into repeatable ramp, which can wriggle out of Blood Moon. Or Flood Moon. Ooh, I like that. I've never heard it called Flood Moon before. That's a good one. But yeah, thank you all so much. Like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and follow on Twitch. Follow us on all our social media too. TikTok, all the places. But as these guys start to sideboard, let's check out a lay of the land. Looks like not much has changed. Got about 30 minutes left in round, so these players have plenty of time to finish this one. I have no doubt we will finish this match, unless the next couple of games, well, the next game takes infinity billion. While, oh, they're going to do it the hard way. There's a little center button that you can click, and it'll reset. That's easy enough, though. But yeah, Conflagrant, you said you were a fan of black-white tokens. I give you black-white tokens. You ask, and I will try to provide. All right. Looks like Art is going to mulligan here. Ooh, is that Kaya Orzhov Usurper? I love that card. I am really excited to see if he can get that on the battlefield. That would be really sick. Let me put this on screen for you. Kaya Orzhov Usurper. 3 mana, 3 loyalty planeswalker. It's got a +1. Exile up to 1 target card. Up to 2 target cards, rather. From a single graveyard. You gain 2 life. If at least 1 creature card was exiled this way. -1. Exile target non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less. And then -5. Kaya deals damage equal to target player equal to the number of cards that player owns in exile, and you gain that much life. So Pretty interesting. Here's a fetch land to start things off for Art. Vile. Okay, so he's fetching and shocking. You also enjoy complaining about people's lands. Double treat for you. I mean, that's fair. That is absolutely fair. Flare? Woo! Alrighty, here we go. Bloodstain Mare. All right. This is actually kind of important. I'm gonna go out there and make sure Art has the right life total because he fetched and shocked and played the Ether Vial. So I'm gonna go let him know that right now.
Response.
I am. Yep.
16. I'm gonna go to 16.
Okay.
Alrighty. Got that fixed. Usually I don't do that, but it was very like there was no questioning it, right? He fetched, he shocked, played his 1-mana card on turn 1. There's no interpretation where his life total shouldn't be 17. So and obviously he had it right on the paper that's just off screen, but I just wanted to make sure everything was represented properly. Down to 15. $13. Fable and first chapter is gonna create a Goblin Shaman for Jacob. And back to Art. Draws an Ephemerate for turn, so he's got double Bowmaster. And there's a Kaya, which could exile the Goblin Shaman if needed. Is that what we're going to see? Are we going to see a Kaya Orzhov Usurper? Ranger, says Jacob. No, I don't think it's going to be a Ranger. I'm not sure if these decks, these black-white token decks, typically play a Kaya Orzhov Usurper. If they do, that's so sick. I love that card. I play Lantern Control, and back in the day, this was an alternate way to win the game. Are we just going to... He's staring at that Kaya. Play it. Play it, Art. They can't hear me, by the way. There's like 70 people here. Ooh. Yes, here we go. Kaya, Orzhov, Usurper. We got a reader. Jacob gonna read it. I don't blame him. This card does not see a ton of play that I know of. I obviously dig the card, but yeah, Jacob might not have ever seen that card. Looks like Art is going to do the play that I assumed he would, exiling the token. That's a huge tempo gain for Art because Jacob just spent 3 mana not even to get the 2/2. Now, obviously, he has all the other modes that he's going to get use out of. But Art was able to crash in and drop Jacob down to 11 thanks to the 2/2 not being there. Yeah, so Jacob going to take 1 off of the extra draw from Look, there's a massacre worm. He showed me that right before we started. Spicy little meatball in the deck list. Persist, massacre worm. So here is Massacre Worm for you folks.
Yeah.
6 mana, 6/5. When it enters, creatures your opponents control get -2/-2 until end of turn, and then whenever a creature dies, your opponent loses 2 life. So pretty cool piece of tech there from Jacob. I think it's just a fun of, but still pretty sick. So I'm going to replay the Bowmaster. Down to 9 goes Jacob, but it has a big old 6/5 in the way now. Gonna untap. Are we gonna tick up? Yes, we are. We got a Flicker Wisp in hand, so well, Fatal Push not quite gonna be able to have the reach to get rid of this Massacre Worm. Yeah, Art's in a bit of a sticky situation here. He's got to find a way to get around it. Art's going to take a look at the graveyard, considering what to exile with Kaya. And let's see what he'll choose. Back up to... Jacob said, wanted to exile something from your graveyard? Art's like, yeah, probably not. Probably not. Gonna hit Persist and a land, maybe? I'm not sure what that other card is behind Persist. All right, Art's just gonna pass. Jacob is going to transform into Reflection of the Mirror Breaker here. Well, maybe, if he can get it out the sleeve. And yeah, I mean, I would, if I were Art, I would just ask him to pull it out of the sleeve completely. But I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Metazin702, thanks for that follow. Mitchell 110, appreciate that follow as well. We appreciate all the love tonight. We're at 40 viewers right now, and that is sensational. If you're digging the content, follow and consider subscribing. Get some of the Bezos bucks and help support the content. Fatal Push going to come in and take care of business. Bounce the Ether Vial. So is this going to be the same play as last time where we Flicker Wisp to save the Ether Vial? Ooh, Fatal Push did not have Revolt. You're right. Hang tight.
It bounces.
Yep. Draw.
Draw.
It was a token.
No, it's not a token.
Oh.
It's the flip side of that, which retains the...
Oh, is that how it works? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was a token.
I don't think anything else has happened.
It's very resolved.
That doesn't change anything.
No. It should be.
So it should go back in your hand. And,
Well, it's still it's the target, right? And then it's an if.
It is.
Yeah.
All right.
You're not wrong.
I don't.
You're not wrong.
I mean,
You're not wrong.
yeah, I'll like take it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
It's up and down.
I thought they were token. I thought they were serious.
So
Yeah, I thought it.
whatever the other side says, but they changed it recently
Okay.
to be it's the same mana value as the other side.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll
I'll let you guys figure out
I'll-
whether
I mean,
the fatal push
it
is
probably
insane.
won't really matter because once Superior comes in, he bounces, and I can just do it after,
right.
right?
Well, no, you can't cast spells.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a fair. Yeah. Yep. No, you're right. So it's good. Yep.
All right. So good call. Good call. Good call for sure. So I just let them know what was up, and I let them decide whether Fatal Push was in Art's hand or not. That is, it's just FNM. So if Jacob, I could see it both ways. I could see it both ways. Hey, Yusuke, thank you for that follow. We appreciate that. All right. So not quite sure. Looks like. Happens to you a few times? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it happens. It is what it is. Again, I don't think there was any malicious intent here.
And it's didn't
What are we trying to figure out now? Oh, no. Wish they would keep the mana value. On the flip side, they do. You mean you wish they wouldn't?
You're in slip line.
Oh, on the card. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I wonder why they don't. I guess because people might try and cast it. That's probably the reason. They could put it in the reminder text, I guess, like in the actual like text of the card, yeah, and just have it in like parentheses, like this. The mana value of this side is still 3 or whatever. They could do that for sure. Then they would. Well, if they did that, then they wouldn't have room for 8 paragraphs of text because every card does everything these days. Looks like Flickerwiss is going to get in here though. And here comes that poor Ether Vial that they've been fighting over all match. And Jacob gonna drop to 6. Oh, sure, yeah. I guess. Look, when you're right, Conflagrant, but it should be in the reminder text, I think. Super confusing to new players. Needs to find a way to get rid of a permanent so we can get this Kiki-Jiki off the battlefield. This thing's gonna be a nuisance. Pushing it again, huh?
Okay.
So I'll hit you for one. Okay.
So, all right. Now it goes through with the ephemerate.
This time with a plan.
This time it does go through. That's right. Art saying this time it goes through. Is gonna grow his orc army. And Kaya gonna go up the ladder. Not sure he said holding priority. I don't know. I'm not going out there for that one. It's FNM. It's not that serious, boat guy.
Combat. Okay.
If this were,
Combat. Creativity.
it's always serious. I don't know about that. If this was an RCQ, sure, I would probably stop and then inform a judge what happened. But it's just FNM.
Creativity targeting the worm.
Creativity, targeting a worm and a goblin.
Two.
All right, so Jacob's gonna find. Oh no, I figured. I mean, it is what it is. All right, here's Archon of Cruelty, big bad boy, crashing in.
Sorry,
Creatures are planeswalkers.
All right, there we go. So it is a lot of mana, 6/6 flying. When it enters or attacks, target opponent sacks a creature or planeswalker, discards a card, and loses 3 life. You draw a card and gain 3 life. So does that twice. Yeah, Art should be at 6. Up to 11 for Jacob. Jacob draws 2 cards. Insane in the membrane. We flip-flopped life totals essentially. And oh boy, is Art in some trouble now.
I mean, trying to think what would be at 5.
All right, Art gonna pass back. Not much he can do in the face of 2. Not 1, but 2. Archon of Cruelties. I think Jacob might have this one, depending on what's in Art's hand. I'm not sure. Don't think Art has another black, or I'm sorry, another white card in his hand to cast the Solitude. Yeah, so it's gonna... Jacob's gonna win the game off the triggers. Yeah, Art's gonna scoop him up. We're gonna get to see a game 3 here, though. So lucky us. And let's kick it back to the sideboard area here. Hello, hello. Thank you all so much for joining us. Great turnout on Twitch tonight. Got about 40 people watching, between 35 and 40. So we appreciate that. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to follow. We stream each and every single Friday night, as long as it's not like a pre-release night, or if we're understaffed. Sometimes that does happen on Fridays, but typically we do stream each and every single Friday. So follow for content every single Friday at 7 p.m. Central. And make sure to head on over to YouTube as well. We post all of our videos round by round. So we don't give you like 4-hour chunks, like huge videos that are like 35 to 45 minute long round videos. And go subscribe over there. If you're on YouTube, of course, like, comment, subscribe. If you're on Twitch and you enjoy the content enough, consider subscribing. Give us some of those Bezos bucks. And remember, if you're watching on Amazon Prime, or if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription each and every month, and it would mean the world to us if we were your free sub. Hey, APA for breakfast. IPA for breakfast. Thanks for that follow. And Boat Guy, appreciate that follow as well. So shout out to everybody. This is incredible. Hey, IPA for breakfast with the Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you so much. That is awesome. We love the love. We appreciate the appreciation tonight. Also, hit up impactgamingcenter.gg for all of your Magic the Gathering needs. I almost guarantee, not quite guarantee, but I almost guarantee, if you're looking for any of these singles that are in any of these gentlemen's decks in this round, you can probably find it on impactgamingcenter.gg. We sell other games as well. Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, of course. One Piece. Check it out. Hit it up. You watch all of our VODs on YouTube. That's awesome. I'm glad you could check out the live stream. And thanks for the subscription. That's awesome. But yeah, we also have a TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, so go check that out. Our TikTok's deranged and we post goofy content all the time. So go check that out. If you want to see my best Gollum impersonation, go check out the TikTok from today. It's ridiculous. Gonna buy a few standard staples for RC Hartford. Oh, awesome! From us, hopefully. I assume that's why you said that. But no, that's awesome, and good luck to the upcoming. Still lurking for Clarion Conquerors. What is that card? Clarion Conqueror. Sounds familiar. Oh. Oh, that's the new guy. Yeah, activated abilities of artifacts and creatures and planeswalkers can't be activated. Yeah, I think we had some full art ones, if I'm not mistaken. So check impactgamingcenter.gg, as these guys are now underway. So let's get back down there. You don't want to see my ugly mug. You want to see some awesome Magic the Gathering gameplay, as these guys are off to the races. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have some of those, though. I think we have some of the full arts. I think we have like one full foil and one regular. Alrighty. Down to 18 goes Jacob. This is game 3 for all the marbles here in round 2, at least. All the marbles in this match, right? It is notable. Art is 0-1. So you could play Dream Crusher here. We've got really sick payout here at Impact. So it's $10 entry fee, and then you get a pack per win. But if you go 4-0, you get double payout. And if you'd rather have store credit, you can get $4 in store credit per win instead of the pack. So typically Magic players will take the store credit. Alrighty. So the Pyroclasm going to end Art's aggressive start here. Going to play an Arid Mesa and maybe flicking that Emperor Bones back and forth. Also has a Boggart Trawler. But I think it's going to be Emperor Bones. It will. In beginning of combat, going to exile the Pyroclasm. And going to just pass back to Jacob. All right, going to surveil and put the Sacred Foundry to the bin. And here's a Prismatic Ending that'll exile that bad boy. And Art will shock and surveil, it would appear. Oh, that's a, yeah, I was going to say that's not a surveil land. There it is, Shadowy Backstreet, boy. Alrighty. Gonna take a peek. You love chaotic playsets? It might give up some percentage points at times. Oh, so you're saying you like one of every version of a card. Like you'll have a retro, a normal version, extended art, and like a full art version, for example. That's sick. We actually have a regular Adrian who does that too. So he'll get like whiteboarded version and just unhinged. That's so funny though. I get it. I get the appeal. I really do. I have a gift storm deck, like kind of pre 2020 days, and it's all white border. So when they unbanned gifts ungiven in Commander, I was like looking at my four white border that I personally erased the borders of, and I'm like, wow, this is like a $20 card now. They were like $1 at the time, so. But yeah, I get it. I understand it. Anything to tilt the opponent. Bogart Trawler gonna enter and exile Jacob's graveyard. I'm gonna make a little man there with the token. Creativity's gonna go for 1 this time around. And Art's in a bit of trouble here. This card kind of just eats his lunch. So we're gonna go till we find a big boy. Probably gonna be an Archon. And there is Archon of Cruelty. And here come the triggers.
Back the card to your loop.
Yep. Jacob gonna go to 19 here. And gets to draw a card. Man, oh man. Oh, yeah, and that Fatal Push not doing much, is it? Just kind of like last game, honestly. Once Jacob's able to fire off a creativity and get an Archon out, it's pretty rough. Looks like we do have, I forget the name of this card. It's gonna exile though. I forget what it exactly does, but it exiles a big boy. I think it's like exile something with toughness 4 or more. So are able to stifle Jacob's assault here, but here's a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Gonna make a Goblin Shaman and pass right back. Fatal Push the token. Yep, and Art clearing things up here. Jacob flicking through his cards. Looks like he's got a couple lands. Can't quite see the rest of the cards. Looks like maybe an Archon. Didn't quite get a good look at the other one. Draws Shockland, plays it tapped, and passes. Discard 2, draw 2. Exercise, that's right. Thank you, great image. Newer card from Duskmorn. Oh, is this time on round? Remember how I said we're not going to go to time this round? Yeah, so they are in turns, folks. That is what that dice to the top by the Aether Vial represents. Not on the Aether Vial, but Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp. Gonna enter the battlefield.
Yeah, it's
Gonna have the Shadowy Backstreet re-enter, get another Surveil. Jacob said you can do mine if you want. I don't think Art wants to do that. Combat, here we go. Battle for 3, back down to 16 where he was a couple turns ago when that Archon entered the battlefield. Did Art draw some action here? 4 cards in Jacob's hand. After Art inquired. Back over to Jacob. Gonna crack. Gonna drop to 15.
I can't go. I can't go from 16 16. Okay. I got
16 to 16. That'd be pretty cool. Be pretty cool. When we get to the end of this round, if you're watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We'll have a short break with a backup feature match from last week, so you'll still have content to watch. And then we'll be back momentarily. I mean, this is going to be a quick turnaround time because obviously we're in turns right now, so we will be back real quick. Looks like this one is looking like it's probably going to go to turns, or to a draw potentially. However, draws do not get you anything here at Impact in our FNM, so typically someone will concede. That way the $4 in store credit isn't wasted. Now, obviously, that is up to the players to decide. Jacob gonna fetch down to 14. Needs to be able to put some pressure on Art here to try and make a case for when turns end that he could say, well, look, I was gonna kill you. And here's a creativity. This is a pretty good way to do it. He's gonna have 2 creativity targets. This is actually potentially game, actually. Skyclave Apparition. Okay. Skyclave going to target the Kiki Jiki. The other will resolve, though. Yeah, so Art will lose 3, down to 13. Jacob will gain 3, go up to 17. Oh, 18 maybe. Maybe I missed a point somewhere.
I think he had what is he? Oh, yeah.
3-3. So 6.
turn, buddy.
He's gonna be one damage short if everything stays as is. Jacob's gonna be 1 damage short, I think.
I might be able to win on my turn.
He might, yeah, Jacob's saying I might be able to win on my turn. It's possible. But currently on board, I don't think he's got it. But we'll see. Art, looking at that card, it's not going to change, my friend. Fable the Mirror Baker drawn.
6, 9 triggers, discard card, 12.
Yeah, 12. So Art going to go to 1. That's a pretty good case of I would have killed you next turn, bruh.
Black.
Archon, another Archon that's going to do it. The handshake extended. And Jacob going to get this one. 4-color creativity winning over Art on black-white tokens. Wow, dude. Yeah, that was intense. That was quite the matchup for sure.
Man, that was pretty darn.
Yeah, that was incredible. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you're watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We've got the next round coming right up. Also, I'll put up the other match. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you don't miss out on content like this. And, of course, hit up impactgamingcenter.gg for all of your Magic the Gathering and other tabletop gaming needs. I've been Les Alex, and until the next round or the next video, depending where you're watching, I'll catch you all on the flippy flop. Adios, everyone.